Hello, welcome to my new set of mini projects. Um, so I guess I'll kind of explain what's going on with all that and the structure of this video, kinda. But I'm gonna start. I want to do something in the future that'll be kind of cool. Maybe if I can manage to do it. But to do that, I kind of realized I have to learn how to draw a lot more things, especially people, because I still don't know how to draw people, and I really suck at that. So I decided to start off by learning how to draw that. So this is like the first of this whole thingy. I'm probably be doing this for a little while. Drawing. I think I'm just making into a stupid little kind of like weird series of like I'm gonna draw 100 things, and this is what happened. So this is like the first of that, and it's gonna be 100 people I'm drawing right now. But before that, I thought I would be cool to like draw like a starting point, and then like, you know, after drawing the 100 people, and then usually I was gonna try to do it like about like 10 per day. Like I would try to get it done within like about a week or a couple days. You know, try to do something like that. So it's for this one, I think it was about 10 people every day. Some days I think because it was just like an hour of drawing, it would just be like an hour that I would do. You're gonna see that this thing took me an hour in total. This weird, gross looking person. Eventually it's gonna get to more me drawing like a bunch of small, like simple drawings of people. Those usually took me about 6 minutes. Sometimes I would finish a bit quicker. Sometimes it would take me a little bit longer. But the smaller drawings that are coming up soon, those ones only were 6 minutes, and I did about an hour of them a day, so I did like 10 of them in an hour. That's how that went. And then at the end of that, the 100-ish of those guys, I was gonna do an after drawing, so that's kind of how this video is gonna go. And also just a heads up, I'm probably gonna be doing that for a while, and I'm probably gonna I'm already starting like another one after this with a slightly different format that I'm doing. It's 14 people in an hour. I have this weird little like on website class thing that my girlfriend showed me. It's just like a drawing website of like things like still lifes and, you know, like when people pose and stuff or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called, but stuff like that. And for an hour it has like a weird class mode that'll give you like a bunch of small drawings for 30 seconds, and then some bigger-ish drawings for like a minute, and then like a couple for 5 minutes, one for 10, and then one for like 25 minutes, and that'll be like an hour in total. So that's what I'm doing now, but I wanted to try out these formats, and I also was just gonna make it into me drawing 100 people every time to just get the practice in. After I don't know how many times I'm gonna draw 100 people, but I'm probably gonna do it a third time after this. This is like a heads up. And then after that, I don't know, maybe I'll keep doing people, or I might switch to something else for a little bit. We'll see. Well, that's pretty much the structure of all this. Oh yeah, and then in total, this was, I think, yeah, it's just 12 hours, because it's like 10 hours of drawing all these like little people. And then there was an hour of drawing the person before, and then an hour of drawing a person after all the people. And this was all sped up by about 30%. What is it? I don't know how it is. It's 30 times faster. So every second, it was like every second of viewing was like 30 seconds of drawing. I think that's how it works. And this was also Procreate, as you can see, with a weird aspect ratio and weird everything. So it might be a little weird with the recording again. It seemed to be a bit better this time. I was trying to make it a bit better and easier. Figured out some stuff with it, so it should be better for the most part. There might be a little weird glitchiness at some point, but other than that, it should be completely fine, I think. And yeah, I was starting to realize like I didn't really know what I wanted to talk about during these videos. Because if I just talk about the drawings, like these ones are really short and quick, and like I can kind of tell you for certain ones there were some things I was thinking of. Oh yeah, at a certain point I'm gonna start writing words. I purposely made them look really weird to like not in like, so it's really hard to like read what they were. And a lot of them I don't really remember what they said anymore. So if you see weird words, you know, weird word, you know, it happens. But I don't know what it says. Maybe I do. I don't really remember though. Obviously this was done over a couple of days or whatever. But I didn't really know what to like talk about, because a lot of the times I feel like it's just kind of me saying like, oh, I didn't know what I was doing, which is pretty honest because I didn't. Like, I don't know what I'm doing for most drawings, and I'm trying to just learn. I think I could tell you for this, I was trying a bunch of different techniques, so the way I draw people kind of changes slightly over time. You'll see that obviously, because this whole thing was about like getting better by drawing 100 people. So obviously over time you're going to see slight improvements and changes to the way I do it. Sometimes I'll put those weird little just like disc things for the hips and the pelvis, and then sometimes I'll draw like an actual circle. I don't know when I start doing that. And then the size and the proportions of the circle and the circle for the head, or in the chest too, those ones will like change placement and they'll kind of change size. And sometimes I'll draw like the spine more, and then sometimes I won't. I think the arms and legs stay pretty much the same. I think at some point I might start kind of drawing in the hands, like as just like a basic square. That's like at like the start. Yeah, and then like some of them, like this one, I think he had this person like really pronounced chest rib cage thing, so I put his in. But it's not always for all of them. And yeah, these people were naked, which was gross. Ew. But I didn't try to draw any naughty bits really, so you know, I hope I should be fine for YouTube censorship. Otherwise this whole thing will just be a big blur. So yeah, that's about it, but we're gonna see. But that should be fine later on, because at least one of these 100 people drawing things, I'm gonna do them clothed. That's why these ones are all not clothed, because I have to learn the body before I learn the people, you know, whatever that means. But yeah, so if I was gonna talk about the drawings, it's pretty much just me saying I don't know what I was doing, and then I kind of learned, and that's kind of it. So there you go. I guess that's about the video. Goodbye. But other than that, if you're sticking around, I was thinking about just ranting about something stupid again, but this time it's a bit closer to home for me, because at the time of this recording, what was the game called? It's called like Wild Hearts. It just came out like 2 days ago or something. I don't know exactly when. It came out, maybe like 3, something like that. It's a couple days ago. And I don't know how much out it is. I don't know if it's just like review copies, or some people have it, or everyone has it. But I remember seeing it a while ago, and like I had like it was like some not E3 a long time ago, and I was like, oh, that's stupid, that's awful, it's trash, it's just a Monster Hunter clone, and I completely forgot about it. And then like I think a week ago, I saw like one like advertisement for it, and I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about that game. Why aren't they even advertising this at all? And then I was like, oh yeah, that game's that's stupid. I hope it's stupid and sucks and it's not as good as Monster Hunter, because I like Monster Hunter, and I didn't like the fact that it was like copying it, which is I guess kind of unfair to say before the game even comes out and I know what's like going on with it. I feel like I don't even think we got much information. I like swear I never saw any advertising for the game like at all. But and now it just came out, and kind of came up again, and then I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. So I looked into it again, and then I was like, oh, why did anybody think this was gonna be good? Because all I did was take one little look at what the heck Wild Hearts was, because I was like, what is this game again? I don't even remember. And I looked it up, and on big old giant black and white print it says EA, which is like the biggest red flag in like gaming, like in general. If a game box says EA on it, in this decade, this era of gaming, it's quite a big deal. Quite a ground. What is it like? It breaks it. It's not good. No good. No bueno, EA. And I saw some gameplay. It was like some fancy IGN gameplay, and granted, it was IGN, so I don't think it's like the best gamer out there. And their review was just, you know, like, I don't think it was that great either. But the game just looked stupid. and that was, I don't know, this things with like, I'm seeing more of these, I don't know, I feel like it's just these things now where I feel like it's happening more with Dark Souls as well, where like it's getting so big now that other people are doing like these Dark Souls likes. Like also recently Pinocchio popped up again, the weird Pinocchio game that's gonna be like a weird Dark Souls like, people are calling it again. Saw another like IGN gameplay trailer of that too. That looked really bad, and it looked like it had the same problems with like Mortal Shell. And I remember when Mortal Shell was coming out, people, I think the creators themselves were also like, oh, we're like obviously we're inspired by Dark Souls and them stupid like Souls like games. And I feel like that same thing is happening with Monster Hunter now, where it's like its popularity with the world like made it so big that now other like game companies are like, oh, we can hop in on this. Who was the other people that did it? I know that there was Dauntless a while ago. And that was something too I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, that also leads into gaming. I know I talked about the series with my girlfriend starting up again, but I think it's actually going to be put on pause for quite a while longer. We're trying to focus more on art. I think I might have talked about this before, but it's kind of more concrete about that, where I think we're gonna try more focus on art for a while. Maybe maybe we have more time and stuff, then we'll go back to gaming and things like that. But for a while, I think we're gonna do art. We're gonna go down this path for a little bit, and probably I will still draw some Monster Hunter monsters because I like drawing them. So maybe at some points I'll draw one or two every once in a while again. But yeah, for a while gaming, we're not gonna do much of that. But anyway, so back to like Dauntless I was talking about. I remember when that came out, people were like, oh, it's like Monster Hunter. And that was back when like not enough people knew about Monster Hunter, because I don't think World was out yet, or it was coming out soon, I think. But I remember Dauntless was coming out and people were like, oh, it's cool, it's interesting, it's gonna be like a Monster Hunter game. Obviously I heard about it because I was in the Monster Hunter community, kinda ish. I don't know if you can hear this plane, but I can. I really can. So sorry if you can, but people gotta travel this day and age. That's just what it's gotta be like. But I think there was another game that came out, Dauntless. I think it came and like kind of died because it's like the same thing with the Dark Souls ones, or the Dark Souls likes, like Mortal Shell and this Liza P one. It seems like companies are trying to make these games, but they come into like a game that like the people that made it, like Bandai Namco, FromSoft, or I guess it's just mostly FromSoft. They're like the real big boys in that company or that game. And then like Capcom, Monster Hunter people, they've been making these games for like years, and they've made like a lot of these games. There's Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, before that even, other weird games, I don't even remember what they're called, like Skull Fields or something weird. And they have all these games under their belt that leads to all these crazy masterpieces, I guess. I don't know, maybe if you don't like them, I think they're cool. But like Elden Ring and Monster Hunter World kind of rise, but yeah, we'll see. They've been making these games for like years, and then these other people kind of come in, and then they try to make them, and then they fall flat because they haven't been making these games for years. They don't know all the. They just like literally. It's like, I gotta find these little words. They stumbled into the exact same holes that the originals did. And because they're like new indie game kind of like developers, they're not like really big studios for the most part, not your EAs. They just can't really recover from them because it is like, I don't know, a lot of people see it and it's like, oh, that is a worse Dark Souls, so nobody plays it, or nobody, like, it doesn't stick around for long. So I feel like that's what happened with Dauntless. I think it seems like it kind of died. I don't know what's going on with it anymore. I don't know if the people behind it are making new things already, or if they're making another better Dauntless, or what. Or Mortal Shell people either. I don't know what's going on with them. And then I feel like it's gonna happen with this new one that just came out, and it kind of already seems like people are seeing that it's like, it's just a weird, not Monster Hunter. And I don't know, I just don't think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be really weird, kind of cheaply made, thrown together like rubbish trash that is just a knockoff of the real king, the real Monster Hunter. And then the ads just suck. Like, I don't know. It just really, oh, that was, yeah, it just really seems like Rise. But like, I didn't even play Rise that much. I stopped playing Rise when like the content stopped, because, well, I was playing it with my girlfriend as well, but that was before like we started recording things, kinda. And we were gonna play it again, maybe. We probably will at some point when we start playing games again. We'll probably record that as well. But we stopped when I think they added in like Chameleos and the other guys. They added in a few monsters, but it wasn't like the DLC yet. So when that happened, that's kind of when we were like played it a little bit more, and then we kind of stopped like completely. And then after that point, it was like, I don't know. It was just like the game wasn't as good as World, so we kind of just we kind of left it alone. But it was still fine. But this new Wild Hearts game seems exactly just like Monster Hunter Rise, because Monster Hunter Rise was just like a more Eastern style, I guess people call it. I don't know if that's racist or something. I feel like that's pretty true though. That Rise was much more inspired by like yokai monsters, while like World, the themes of it was much more like Western castles. It was much more like castles and kingdoms and like legions of knights in armor. While Rise is much more, I don't know, obviously like themed in a very different environment, you know, with like yokai based monsters, which are just like Japanesey demons, I think. I don't know exactly what a yokai is now that I think about it, but they're just like weird demon spirit things, kind of, but like not any of our like chupacabras or mothmen. They're like actually kind of interesting. And it kind of just seems like what the stupid Wild Hearts is, but also it's just weirder because they like added in Fortnite. They made like your little bug boy. Well, because in World it was like the weird little slingshot, and then they switched it in Rise to a little bug boy, and then in this Wild Hearts games they like combined them together, but also made them into Fortnite, so you can like build a tower and hide up in your little like disco tower and shoot the monster, or have it whack-a-mole hammer it into the sky and 1,000 feet into the air, and it'll backflip and front flip and then fall down on its side like a plank of wood. And yeah, I don't know, it just seems really weird. And at that point I would just be like, I don't know, play Rise. If you wanted a Monster Hunter that's more like Eastern-ish, cool, like actual more samurai, weird demon monsters other than just like, I don't know, dragons and stuff, and yeah, play Rise. Seemed way more fun, especially the one I saw in the trailers. Trailers just make it look all silly, which is, I don't know, maybe it's good for some people, but there's just some weird choices that they like made. Like when I watched the stupid IGN thing, they said that they got rid of deaths. They made like a revive system, which was interesting, I guess. They also just kind of get rid of sharpening, because I guess sharpening was hard, but it was an IGN person, so I feel like that might have just been like the person thinking sharpening was hard. It's a very simple concept, so I don't know why, but no sharpening. And they just changed some weird things around, and they also, it's only 8 weapons or something like that. With one of them was an umbrella, which looked really stupid, and then like the umbrella was just like a weird, like, because they had the umbrella, and then obviously because it's like Eastern Asian, I don't know what to say, I don't care. I'm not trying to be racist, but I don't care. Anyway, they have like samurai swords as well, and like Monster Hunter has always had like a long sword, which is kind of just like a giant katana. And it was just like they broke the long sword into 2 weapons, which is just a normal long sword and not that long, and then an umbrella, which is more like the counterpart of a longsword, which was just like, I don't know, just play Monster Hunter World or Rise, and then you'll have this like both weapons in one. Fun, cool, looks better, plays better, more people online. And better monsters. I don't know. Really weird. And I see people like on stupid things like Reddit and stuff being like, oh, I'm scared, what, I don't know if this game might be better, I don't know, I wonder what's gonna happen to the Monster Hunter community, or with this competition. This ain't no flipping competition. It's an EA Monster Hunter. They've grounded everything they owned to the ground and flipping drug it back and forth. So yeah. Oof. Oof. That little rant really took it out of me. Real winded. That's kind of it for the Monster Hunter stuff. As you can tell, this was extremely unscripted, kinda-ish. But I guess we'll get back to this. I think pretty soon, in the actual art, and I'm talking about it again, we're gonna get back and we're gonna do the last guy. And that's something that's gonna change too. All these things I kinda, and towards the start, stuck more to like taking an hour with the very first thing, and then doing all these in like 6 minutes towards the start. But then at the end, I kind of decided, I was like, whatever. Kind of getting like, I felt like I was getting lazier, but I also felt like it was just more natural. That it was just like, oh, I kind of got faster with them. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. But yeah, like the last drawing, and like, I think that only takes me like about like, I think it took me like 50 minutes, but I was really stretching it. And you'll see it too, like I've really stretched it out to take up a bit more. I could have definitely finished in practically like 30. So I guess it's kind of working. And again, I guess if you want to have some weird models of people online, you can go to Line of Action. That's the thing my girlfriend showed me, and that's what I've been using for this. You might not get all these weird pictures, and also you can pick for them to be clothed. That's probably what I'm going to do at some point. I'm going to just pick a bunch of clothed models and then draw them for 100. But for now, I was just doing nude, which is gross, but whatever. But yeah, you can pick them to be clothed, you can pick certain angles, you can pick, well, it's only if you, some of the features are locked behind like a paywall subscription thing. So yeah, that's the thing too with some of the pictures. You might not get all these pictures that I've like have in my rotation if you don't pay for like the premium-ish version. But there's still quite a bit of pictures in it that you can kind of just look at for free. And you can kind of do most of the same things. So it's pretty good, pretty decent place for just what is it called? Figure drawing. There you go. Figure drawings. That's what I'm doing. So yeah, I think we're getting really close to the end for these people. I think. This either, I think there might be one more 10. I haven't been counting at all. I've barely even been looking at the screen. I don't even know what happened or what's going on no more. And that was something too I was thinking maybe about doing, because it seems like a lot of the pictures in this thing are really skewed towards females. There seems to be a lot more girls than there are guys in the like the models. I was thinking that maybe I could also try doing it. Oh yeah, this is starting, so I guess that was the end of that. That was 100. So this is me doing it. Oh yeah, I guess I'll say that too. The very first thing that I drew, there was no reference. I was just like, I'll just try to do it without. Not because I don't like reference, but I just wanted to see like fully on my own knowledge what I had. That's why it looked really weird. And then this is also fully without a reference. This was just me kind of making up stuff. Now with a better understanding of human-ish beings. And then also if you're like wondering what the colors and all the stuff was, yeah, I don't know. But the first one I was thinking of some weird galaxy girl, and then I think I kind of just forgot that I was supposed to put like some weird planetary glow thing and like her hands that she was looking and pointing at. But you know, whatever, it doesn't really matter. I think that's just I was gonna go pee. I think that's what it says. I went pee for a little. Yeah, so this is getting closer to the end now. And yeah, I definitely could have finished this really quickly, but I was taking my time. And yeah, but I think that's it for me. If that's good enough for you, thank you for watching. Yeah, and more parts of this coming out soon, sooner than normal because it's not a giant dragon. Alright, thank you for coming to Comic Night, for the comedians, and goodbye.
I forgot to mention. Here is Procreate.